Hey, what's going on, my fellow idiots? Welcome back for another episode of Idiot Proof Cooking. So the other day, Meg went out and bought a literal ton of peaches, and now I've got to do something with them because they're taking up a ton of space in my fridge. So I've decided to do some baking with them. Now, I was debating on what I wanted to make with all the peaches. I've done peach cobbler for the channel before. Meg really wanted me to make a peach cobbler. Rose asked me to make a peach pie, and I didn't feel like making pie today, but, keep in mind, peach pie, definitely going to be an episode coming up soon. I still have a ton of peaches in my fridge. But I settled on making a peach crisp, which is similar to an apple crisp, only use peaches, and it A is super easy to make, and B is crazy delicious, just so damn good. So let's get into making it, shall we? Okay, so the secret ingredient in peach crisp is peaches, believe it or not. What you'll want is 6 to 7 decently sized peaches, and you're going to want to peel them so that there's none of that fuzzy peach fuzz skin in your peach crisp. That would absolutely ruin it. So peel all of your peaches, and then we're going to dice them up. So I'm just going to cut all of the flesh off of this peach here. You know what, calling it flesh sounded kind of serial killery, so just cut up the peach as close to the pit as you can, and then once you've got all of it off, we're just going to dice up the peaches into nice little thin strips and throw it into a bowl on the side. So dice it up nice and fine, and then like I said, throw it into a bowl. There we go. And then it's pretty straightforward from here. We're just going to repeat the process, skin the next peach and dice them up until all 6 to 7 peaches are in your bowl. Look at that, look at that. Alright, next we're going to pour 3/4 of a cup of white granulated sugar all over the peaches, and I'm just going to toss the peaches while pouring the sugar on them just to make sure that they're nice and evenly coated with the sugar. So give them a few tosses, and then we're going to add in some vanilla paste. I'm going to use a tablespoon of that or so, and then we're going to cut up a large lemon and squeeze that in. But you know what? Actually, hold on. Before we put the lemon in, we've got to put in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch because that's going to thicken everything up. And then it's time to add in the juice of 1 large lemon. So cut it in half and then squeeze both halves of the lemon into the peaches, and then get a spoon or a spatula or whatever mixing utensil you might have handy, and then just mix everything together until it's thoroughly combined. It's at this point in time we're going to set that bowl aside and get ourselves another mixing bowl because it's time to start making the topping for the peach crisp. So into your bowl, add in 3/4 of a cup of dark brown sugar, and then 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. Next in is a cup of crushed pecans, and then a half cup of instant oats. Into the bowl it goes. So now we're going to add some spices, but starting off with a little bit of kosher salt, just a half teaspoon or so. I'm then going to add in 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon and then some nutmeg. Now I'm using fresh nutmeg, and I'm showing you the nut of the nutmeg because you know what, fresh nutmeg is definitely better than the dried powdered stuff. Use that if you have it, but the fresh nutmeg is better. Use about a teaspoon of that. And then finally we're going to pour a half cup of melted unsalted butter into all of this and mix it all together with a spoon or a spatula until you get a nice crumbly mixture that is the topping on your peach crisp. Look at that. Set it aside for a moment because now it's time to assemble. I've got myself an 8 by 8 inch baking pan here, and I'm going to spray it down with some cooking spray. We're then going to go get our sugary peaches and pour them into the baking pan. Make sure to level them out if any are sticking up, and then we're going to go get our crumble topping and, similar to the peaches, pour them into the baking pan on top of the peaches. Now all I'm going to do is use my spatula here to flatten it out and press it down a little bit, but this is the ideal time to go preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit because it's time to bake this for the next 35 to 45 minutes until the top crisps up. You'll see a little bit of the peach juices bubble up like this, but there you go. It's nice and done. It took about 40 minutes in my oven. Now I am going to let this cool down for a bit because it is piping hot, so I'd say let it cool down for half an hour or so. But after half an hour, it's time to dig in. It's still going to be hot, but it's cooled down to the point where it's not lava. So here we go. I'm going to scoop myself out a nice little piece here and get the peach filling out of it as well. Look at that. Here's the close-up shot. Look at how gooey and rich that looks. That looks absolutely perfect and delicious. Look at that. Look at that peach. It's nice and gooey. Oh man. All right, let's go in for the taste test here. Get a little bit of the crisp topping and a little bit of peaches. So you get a nice balanced bite here. And wow, was that good. Wow, it was so delicious, so rich, and the crispy topping was sweet and crispy, and the peaches were nice and soft and gooey and sugary and so flavorful they tasted like candied peaches, because that's essentially what they are. This was absolutely amazing and super easy to make. If you have a fridge full of peaches and you don't know what to do with them, definitely make this. You'll guaranteed to love it. Oh, it was so good. But you know what? Let's call it an episode. I had a lot of fun making this, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, why don't you drop me a comment, like the video, or even subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching Idiot Proof Cooking, and we'll see you again soon.